Who would you trust more? Total stranger in a Star Trek shirt? Total stranger in a Star Wars shirt? No exaggeration, the vote split on this poll is hysterical. Honestly, at first, I didn't agree. I thought differently. I would have voted for a person in a Star Wars shirt, right, at first. However, the more I think about it, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe they are right. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be returning to r/Tumblr, home to all of the Tumblr posts that get posted in Reddit and often end up more popular than they do on Tumblr, which is certainly something. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention that YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel. Also, I will be live in 2 hours as of this video going up. So again, if that is something that interests you, please do come along, as I always enjoy streaming and I love to see you guys there. Other than that, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? I hope the babies I was born with at the hospital doing good. Freshman year of college, I, a simple lesbian, met a gay dude, and we instantly clicked and started talking about our childhoods and stuff, and discovered we were born in the same hospital on the same day. So we became each other's beards and watched hentai together every weekend. That sentence started and ended in very different places. It really did. That was not the direction that I was expecting that to go. Not even a little bit. Not even a tiny little bit. Is that where I expected that to go? Truly, no harsh noise project can ever approach the sheer auditory torture of existing in the same room as someone scrolling TikTok. Like, professional bad sound engineers couldn't make a listening experience this unpleasant if they tried. Yeah, you either get like 15 seconds of a song and then it loops and then you get the first 5 seconds of the song and then they scroll on, or you get 0.5 seconds of every single video as they're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you just get and it's just like, what? But you think that's bad, right? You think that's bad, okay? This is one of the main reasons I can't use TikTok, is exactly that. I don't like TikTok. I cannot use it. No amount of dopamine addiction has ever been able to get me hooked on TikTok, purely because it is the worst platform. However, that's not the worst of it. There are playlists, music playlists, that people listen to that are like the best of TikTok playlists, which in itself wouldn't be terrible, right? Because people find music they like on TikTok, they listen to that music, whatever. But it's not just music that is also on TikTok. It's only the snippets that are used on TikTok. And the way I found out that these playlists exist is me, Leo, and my younger sibling were at the beach one day, and there was a group of teenagers, probably like 15, 16 years old, with a Bluetooth speaker that they were blasting music on. Already, I find that kind of inconsiderate when you're on a busy beach full of other people and you're blasting music amongst loads of other people that don't want to listen to your music. And like, I will say it, at risk of sounding like an old man, right? This was some of the worst music I have ever heard. They had the worst music tastes I have ever heard. But I don't even think that's like an old man thing, because some of this music was bad 10 years ago, you know? Some of it wasn't new. But anyway, they weren't just listening to the worst music I've ever heard. They were listening to 30 seconds ago of the worst music I've ever heard. So you're sat there like, this song kind of sucks, but whatever, I can kind of tolerate it. And then it skips 30 seconds into the next song. And then you go, this song's kind of bad, but I can tolerate it, I guess, whatever. And then it skips 30 seconds in to the next song. We did not hear a single song to completion. Not one song did we hear all the way through on this Bluetooth speaker in like the half an hour that they were playing music for on this speaker. Not one song. That was one of those moments that I truly understood that maybe I have become out of touch from the younger generation, right? I'm literally Gen Z, right? So Gen Alpha is the younger generation below me, right? I never realized that I could be so out of touch with one generation below me that they would listen to 30 seconds ago of a song and never listen to a single song all the way through. That would drive me insane. I would go insane. I was going insane in the half an hour that I was subjected to that. How do people do that? Like repeatedly, regularly. TikTok has genuinely done something to a generation of children. Genuinely. Starting a fight, petting a dog, and consoling a child. Hey, buddy. But what are the orange, green, and purple ones? Orange, you want to go outside? Purple, shushing noises. Green, do you want to call your mommy? It's accurate though. It's accurate. You could also probably, change petting a dog to, owning a puppy girl, probably a trans puppy girl. But I mean, this is Tumblr, so I guess that's kind of the home of the trans puppy girls. I'm gonna move on. Fortnite, are you sure about this? Did you think it through? Yeah, she would simply metal bend the bullets accurate up to 1,000 yards and then call you a bitch on mic. I think it would be further than this, right? I think Toph would call you slurs. She would call you slurs that both she's not allowed to use, but that also just don't apply to you, right? They would be slurs that she shouldn't be saying, but also don't make sense to be said to you. I feel like that's the kind of person she would be when playing Fortnite. Like a classic 11-year-old playing Call of Duty in 2012, you know, that kind of energy. Honey is vegan. I don't really care if a bee is like, where's all the honey I've been making? They probably get over it really fast. Their brains are very small. Bees choose to live in the box where they know damn well that a large fraction of the honey will periodically be removed, instead of simply leaving that place like they are perfectly able to do, because the human box comes with an invulnerable titan to guard them against all threats. The bees consider the payment offered to this colossal mercenary to be a good deal. It's also worth noting that if a beekeeper is bad, if they don't look after the bees properly, the bees will, and they can and will leave, right? Like, they actually do have that freedom and agency to go, these aren't the right conditions, this is a problem, let's leave. So the fact that they don't do that means that they are happy enough being kept exactly where they're being kept. And it's actually good for the environment. Keeping bees is good for your local environment, and harvesting the honey especially is good for your local environment, because if the bees stockpile honey and it's not harvested, they'll stop making honey, which means they'll stop pollinating flowers because they're not gathering nectar. So it's actually better for the environment if you do harvest some of the bees' honey so that they keep making honey and pollinating flowers. And the bees get the bonus of being looked after, being killed less. It's genuinely better for the bees and the environment, and if the bees weren't doing well, they wouldn't stay. If I was vegan, I would 100% still eat honey. Also, apologies if there's any music or noise in the background. I don't think my microphone would pick it up, and I think my denoiser would remove it, but my downstairs neighbor the last couple weeks has been blasting music and movies. Like, last night I was playing Night Rain with George and the floor vibrated. The guy downstairs was watching a movie so loud. This was at like 10 o'clock at night. He's on the middle floor. I want to add that. The apartment building we're in is 3 floors. I'm at the top floor. He's in the middle floor, which means he's blasting music and watching movies incredibly loud and affecting both an apartment above and below him doing so. Loud enough that it vibrated my floor, probably vibrating the ceiling of the apartment below, right? But he listens to it so loud that if I wear my noise cancelling headphones with music or a video playing, I can still hear it. My microphone shouldn't pick it up though, hopefully. But apologies if that is something that happens. I swear, no matter where me and Leo move, we always encounter sound problems of some form. We can never escape them. We've always got a loud neighbor. Always. Like, I feel bad when I record a video and I yell, but I'm like, at least I'm doing it in the day when people are at work. At least I'm not blasting music at like 10, 11 p.m. on a weekday, right? Like, I feel like you have to be pretty inconsiderate to be doing that, especially on the middle floor of a building. He also has sex really loudly, but that part doesn't bother me as much because it's usually over in about 5 seconds. So that part's not as big a problem. It's not even an exaggeration. I hear 3 grunts and it's over. Like, being online is so scary. Aren't you guys worried about the worldwide spider? It took 36 years for someone to make this joke, and by God was it worth the wait. This feels like it would be an episode of Doctor Who. Just putting it out there, Doctor Who writers, directors, whatever, if you're watching, this is an episode of Doctor Who, just laid out for you right there. The worldwide spider, it might even already be an episode. I might be late, because didn't they have an episode where like the moon was an egg? Wasn't that a thing? They've got some weird episodes, but 100% like a weird dystopian future in Doctor Who where the internet has created a massive spider that like feasts off of the world's internet or something. It sounds like an episode. It sounds like a thing. Russell T Davies, get on that. There's a lady on the train knitting so aggressively and quickly that her needles clack like some sort of cartoon character, and I am super intimidating. She smashed out a shawl in like 35 minutes, and now she's aggressively eating a sandwich. I can't. That sandwich is gone. Packet of chips, gone. Fuel for the knitting machine that she is. She's at it again. So this, to me, feels like one of those stories where it turns out that she's actually one of the deities from like a polytheistic religion, right? Like you're sat on the train and you're hearing this immense clickety-clackety-clickety-clack of someone knitting, and then they just slam down some food, and then they get back on that machine. And then you find out later on that this was actually the avatar of like Odin, who just wanted to experience what it was like to be a mortal lady for that day. You know? Like, that's the kind of vibe I get from this. Reminiscing on when I went cave diving a couple years back, and another dude who was in there was just playing Minecraft music out of his backpack. So I just heard C418 slowly approaching me from within an actual cave. Shout out to that guy. I briefly experienced what it was like to be Steve, for real, for about 4 minutes. I gotta say it though, cave divers scare me. You guys are built differently, right? Like, just spelunkers already, the people that shimmy through those incredibly narrow gaps, that's already on another level, right? But I'm a scuba diver. I literally scuba dive. I do a little bit of free diving as well, but I'm primarily a scuba diver in terms of water. I cannot think of anything more horrifying than combining spelunking with water. Combining not knowing if you can fit through a gap with not knowing if you can surface for air in the pitch black is a horrifying thought to me. Truly horrifying. Combine into that horror stories and creepypastas about monsters in caves in pitch black water. This is a Magnus Archives episode waiting to happen. Fuck, have I done it again? That is a Magnus Archives episode, isn't it? Doesn't someone go cave diving and then they can't find the point where you surface and then they end up... Fuck, that's a thing. That is actually a Magnus Archives episode, isn't it? I'm never going cave diving. Quiz. Why do lobsters have one claw bigger? They evolved to handle different prey. The larger crushing claw cracks open harder prey like a molar tooth, whilst the smaller pincer claw rips apart soft prey, similar to an incisor tooth. They're lopsided. Oh, I see. Yay. I think that's my favorite response I have ever seen to a joke. I have never seen someone respond to a joke with, oh, I see, yay, before. But that's just how I'm gonna respond to jokes from now on. Oh god. I have a joke to tell. I don't think I've ever told this joke on a video before, so this is new ground. This is a dad joke. This is a 1000% dad joke, and I know that because it was made up by my dad. So prepare yourself. It's also very British, so prepare yourself for that as well. What do you call an aardvark that beat up another aardvark? A well aardvark. Okay, it's not. What do you call an aardvark that got beat up by another aardvark? A vark. Thank you for putting a random white boy on my post, I guess. But he will be going in the acid though. Goodbye, white boy. OP, no. Adding a white boy to a vat of acid creates the Joker. Fuck. Oh no, the Joker invented. Oh, everybody run. They've made the Joker real. Oh, which one though? Which Joker? God, please just let it not be, it can't be Jared Leto. It can't be. He'll ruin another franchise. I know there is an international rule that you can't come in within 6 meters of wild penguins in the Antarctic, but I get so upset when a penguin walks up to a researcher and makes a greeting call and the researcher has to ignore it. At least say hello back. It's the polite thing to do. me screaming at the video, he said hello, don't be rude. Imagine going through years of like university and study and research to get sent to the Arctic to do a documentary or to do research or anything like that, just to be rude to a penguin. Like, come on, this isn't Gotham. You don't have to be rude to the penguin. Come on. Another Gotham reference, another DC reference. What is going on? Also, I've been rewatching Gotham lately. Really good series, really good. They nail the Penguin and the Riddler. They nail them. They're so good. It's such a great series. Fighting for my fucking life in the work group chat because nobody else has curly hair. Freaky Ted, why have you done this to me? Crazy bartender with the curly hair and that look on her face like she was ready to kill me and then herself. I will pay you extra to spit in my drink. You're an absolute maniac, and that was one hell of a marg. Blessings to your bloodline. Food 5, service 5, atmosphere 5, freaky Ted. I mean, the username checks out. This dude's a freak. I don't know what I would do if I ever got a review like this, like at a workplace that I worked at. I don't know what I would do. Great news! Something Squishy Toys has cord jacks now. In case you wanted to get fucked with a cord jack, perv. Fucking a girl with the aux cable strap on and she starts moaning in my voice. I can't do another walkout. I really want to walk out right now. I want to just end the video with a walkout, but I can't keep doing that. It'll get old. I've done it too many times, but I want to walk out. I can't read a post like that and not just walk out, but I won't. I will be controlled. I will have self-control. Self-control. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.